Well, so here we go. We arrived in the Soutpansberg mountain range here behind us. I'm standing here with Tyler Botha from SA Game Trackers. We're on a Red Duiker hunt that we booked back in Pretoria a couple of weeks ago. So, Tyler, this is Red Duiker country, eh?
Yeah, we're very fortunate in this mountain range, especially this side of the mountain range. It's one of the few areas in Limpopo or northern South Africa that you actually do find the Red Duiker.
Yeah, they commonly in Natal as well, eh?
Yeah, correct.
Along the coastline.
100%. Yeah.
And then this part of the Limpopo province.
This part of the Limpopo province has got a small pocket of them, which is very fortunate.
And as we played along on the Book Your Hunt website, and while we were booking this hunt, it's not only limited to Red Duiker, am I right? Let's put this Book Your Hunt Africa to the test and see if I can book a Red Duiker. Red Duiker. See what pops up. Red Duiker Hunt Limpopo. So let's click on this one. There's a Red Duiker Hunt. You can click Contact Outfitter. Here you can see the full price list. Reserve. Well, it looks as like it's just as easy as that. So we're gonna go to checkout. I'm gonna put my details in, and hopefully Mr. Tyler Botha will be in contact with me soon.
There's 3 of the tiny 10, actually 4 of the tiny 10 which you could find here. Most commonly your klipspringer, as we are in the mountains.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
Beautiful klipspringer up here. The Red Duiker. There is, on a rare occasion, you do find the Sharps Grijsbak.
Okay.
Also very fortunate, there's not many places in Limpopo where you do actually find them.
On the topic of the tiny 10, that's one of the hardest ones to hunt. Eh?
Yeah, it's a difficult hunt, especially, up here, they're mainly moving at night. But you do get the rare opportunity of finding them. They definitely are here. And then the 4th one you could bump into here is your common duiker, your grey duiker.
Bush duiker.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I mean, this must be prime bushbuck and kudu country as well. Eh?
Correct.
We saw a beautiful bushbuck ram driving in last night.
Yeah, correct. There's some, the bushbuck up here are also beautiful. A bit darker in colour than what you find on the plains. But bushbuck, your kudus that you find up here as well, they're not always the most, they don't always measure the most. You do obviously, I mean, your chances are good. It is free range. We could walk out and bump into a 60-inch kudu. But what you do get up here is you get a beautiful condition. Even this time of the year, there's a lot of food up here for them. So the kudus really look good. Throughout the year, they're carrying that big neck. Yeah. Their skins are beautiful.
And it's a huge area. And I mean, it's a total free range area where we are. It's one of your concessions here in the Limpopo province. And I mean, there's no movement here whatsoever, so the game must be in top condition. But listen, back to the Red Duiker. What is the procedure? I mean, do we drive around? It's the first time, for me hunting a Red Duiker. So what is the drive around looking for one, or do you sit somewhere, or how does it work? Okay,
so how we're gonna target them is I've got 1 or 2 areas that we know that a Red Duiker must be in or must be moving around. So you go into like the thick stuff, into the valleys like you see behind us here almost. Yeah. You get a nice spot, make sure the wind's right, sit down, give it a couple of minutes just to settle, and then you start calling. And then you call it, you call the Red Duiker in. Your timing, it's a quick shot. You haven't got a lot of time because they're coming in straight to the call. And when they're on you, it's close. It's up in 20-meter shot maximum. You haven't got a lot of time, but obviously we're going to be looking. The first thing is obviously maturity. The last thing you want to do is shoot a young animal. So that is the number one. Or a female, of course. Yeah. But
so with this, hunting method, you target a obviously specific gender.
Yeah.
And then the chances are good that you will find the specific age group you're looking for, because you're targeting a single animal and you make the call there and then it's not the right one.
100%, yeah. So you actually, so before we look at, obviously gender is number 1. And then after that, we're not looking at inches per se. Obviously if you get an old ram and he's got a bit of extra, it's always a bonus. But maturity will be your number 1, the number 1 call that you make after gender. Obviously, you don't want to shoot something that's young.
A little bit about the gun. Had a nice laugh by our cameraman this morning trying to zero this here. This gun was finished only 3 or 4 days ago by Morkel and Krause back in Pretoria.
It's one of the last CZs ever built by the Czech company, and I'll say it on camera, I think it's one of the stupidest decisions ever to discontinue this for Africa, but nevertheless, I got my hands on one of these. It's in 375 H&H caliber, and the guys back in Pretoria, Morkel and Krause, did a real stunning job. This is the CZ stock, believe it or not, that it came out with. Was privileged enough to have a couple of guys scan through the boxes for me, and we made the decision on this, and then they did a couple of things to it with a barrel band and so forth. So it's a beautiful gun. The optics on it is a Leupold scope. So for this type of hunting, this is a 1.5 to 5 EX3. For this type of hunting, obviously, you know, something with a 40 or 42 or maybe even a 50 millimeter diameter objective lens, you know, in the stick stuff would have been better. But the reason behind this gun, you know, is to have a one gun safari gun, you know what, I don't know what you call it, but you know, pick up one thing and you can shoot anything from a duiker up to elephant. And then obviously the ammo that I'm going to use in this is a 300 grain solid. It's the Woodley Hydro solid. It runs at about 2.6, so it is quite a hot load. So try and shoot it as flat as possible. So the reason and the application for this is to pick up one gun, go on a safari and shoot anything from a Grysbok to an elephant bull with it. So according to you, Oaks, that's hunt this a lot. I've done it once or twice, you know, with a 375 and solids on duiker, on normal bush duiker. Yeah. But it works well, eh?
Yeah, it works very well. Yeah, it's all the, you know, all the smaller, faster calibers with a soft nose. It actually just destroys these small animals because they are so small. So the bigger calibers with a solid is definitely the way to do it. Yeah. If you're looking for the trophy, the full mount, you know.
Okay, so we'll start driving and.
Perfect.
Really looking forward to the morning.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Tyler.
At the end of the day, we had a pretty good hike up in these mountains. Never realized they were this big. What a spectacular place to hunt. So we had the evening. The guys have been baiting bush pig for the last how many weeks, and they've been feeding regularly. And this is the time they feed them, you know, to get away from the baboon stealing the bait. So they're coming in at the right time. The guys are just checking the wind. There are two or three blinds set up. There's one blind over there. There's one blind up here. The pigs, according to the tracks, coming in from all different directions. We've seen some massive bush pig activity today. So yeah, we're gonna give it a go. We've got nothing to do this evening except having a braai around the fire. So might as well sit here for a couple of hours. Hopefully shoot a bush pig.
The pigs have been coming. Their tracks are coming from the left, the right, and from the front. So this is the only place where we can really sit.
But the wind feels nice and perfect.
Yeah, it's a lot better over here. Yeah. But I think we're definitely going to hear them coming in, like against us. 100% sure if it's a boar sow. It's got a thick nose, but it's definitely not a mature boar if it is a boar. So I think let's leave it. See if something doesn't come in maybe a little bit later.
Second spot. Success. We saw our first nice male.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, he came in like a flash.
Yeah.
Stop, checked with us, turned around. Couldn't even get the gun up.
No, it was, that's normally what the rams do is they come in harder than the females, so you don't normally have as much time, but that's normally a good indication of a ram as well, is when he darts in.
But I mean, he totally surprised us. We didn't hear him.
Not at all.
We only saw him.
Only saw him when he was right here. And because of that side of the brush, it's open, so he must have been standing right here when we got set up. And then when he ran away, another ewe came in from the right. But it's also beautiful. It looks very pregnant as well, which is a good sign. Throw that 375 bullet off that much.
Well, I've seen
Yeah, it's true.
375 bullets thrown off, so I could. There was a couple of branches. I mean, there's no way you can this forest you'll ever have a clear shot.
No, not at all.
And
Not at all.
but I could clearly see the ram. I could see his shoulder. I went for the shoulder, and as the shot broke, in the follow through, I shot with both eyes open. I could see the branch coming down.
Yeah. How's the blood? Yeah.
Blood.
Yeah. For a little animal like that, that's a lot of blood. Yeah. Look against the tree over there.
So hopefully it's a good hit, and he will. Oh, there he is. There he is. There at the back. He's off. Yeah.
Oh,
Three,
beautiful
4 paces.
Yes, sir, these are beauty. What a beautiful ram. Congratulations, my friend.
Now you can call in the medevac, please.
What a beautiful ram.
Yes, I can see it from here.
Yeah. Perfect shot there, sir. What a beauty. Congratulations.
Yes, what a beauty.
Oh, that is incredible.
Well, Tyler, this is the result of persistence. I must be honest, I wanted to give up twice this morning, as I mentioned to you. My knee is absolutely killing me as I'm sitting here for this interview, but I couldn't be happier. Eh?
No, definitely. Definitely. A lot of hard work, a lot of crawling through this thickets and stuff. But I mean, the result, the reward way outweighs the effort.
And after the few tears I cried yesterday, not only by falling my ass off, but also bumping this brand new gun of mine with numerous dents that Jaco at Morkel and Krause will have to fix. You know, I doubted my decision in bringing this rifle for this type of hunt, but I mean, in these thickets this morning, there's just no other way by using a heavy caliber, you know, to hunt these things here. You know, like we mentioned, there's no rule, there's no certain bullet or caliber that can shoot straight through brush. That is so, but I mean, I think you do have a better chance than with something like a 17 or a 22 or even a 6.5 mil. And obviously, why we shoot the solids, we didn't bust up the mount, which is, I mean, you don't hunt these things very often, so the trophy back home is important as well. But yeah, from my side, Tyler, thank you so much. The SA Game Trackers, it was a fun 2 days. It was flippin' tough yesterday in those mountains and this morning in these thickets, but it was a hell of a hunt, and I'm definitely coming back for that Clippy with you. And then obviously a big shout out to Book Your Hunt. This whole thing turned out exactly as we planned, and as we booked it with hard work and some luck and persistence, it paid off. I mean, this is a beautiful old ram, broken off tips in a massive, I mean, this is hundreds of thousands of hectares here in the South Pansberg mountains. And then obviously to Book Your Hunt as well, who supplied me with a cameraman and a camera crew, and who's going to do this whole production for us. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Stefan here from Africa Sportsman Magazine. Be sure to log on to our website to register for our first ever virtual hunting show.